Good morning, physio friends, my colleagues, students. Welcome to Physio Wisdom. This time today I am going to discuss or explain about the history of National Physiotherapy Council, regulatory body, I would other words call it as. I think I kept few points for the information of all the members. Please note, I am not trying to justify whatever happened either on behalf of the association or behalf of the individual efforts or on behalf of whatever body is right and wrong and the demands are met and not properly presented. These comments I do not want to pass, but I would like to give you a brief history so that at the end I think you are the better judge to decide that how it should have been handled. I think this is the way I feel that this matter has to be highlighted. So, let me give you some brief history. Maybe this is slightly lengthy, I kept some points also for not to miss anything. So, if we have anything at the end, I think you are the person to make a call or take a call on we are right or we should have done better. Now, let us say that our efforts of Indian Physiotherapy Central Regulatory Body efforts started in the year 1966, and there was a proposal by Government of India in 1966 to come out with the Physiotherapy and Occupational Therapy Council. This was initially proposed, and it was not pursued, or maybe some whatever reason. I do not want to comment, or rather a hint on why this is not considered or it is not pending, it is called not very serious. After 66, the kind of efforts of every seniors, professionals and the associations were continuing, and 1986 the physiotherapists were mentioned that physiotherapy should be given on par with the medical professional. They should be given a professional status in the even scales. So, in 1994 Ministry of Health finalized a draft bill of Indian Council for Physiotherapy jointly with occupational therapists. This was a proposal given from Government of India in the year 1994. So, we were little reluctant into green because there was a difference of view that we should be combined with the OT or not combined with the OT, because there was a difference of opinion to correlate or tie hands with occupational therapists and physiotherapists together. So, then there was an opinion survey was conducted, and I think I remember under the leadership of Dr. Thomas Manikam of Vellore. So, he conducted a national survey and the results were declared in Bangalore meeting by the Indian Association of Physiotherapists that we do not want joint OTPT council, we will continue to stress on independent physiotherapy council. So, the association dropped the idea of accepting the joint OTPT council, which was proposed in the year 1994. Later 1997, since the IAP's proposal was not pursued further, Delhi enacted the joint OTPT council and they started they accepted it, possibly because Delhi had a different view and other rest of India, maybe including Mumbai, had a different view, Maharashtra. So, there are so many conflicts of different opinion. Then in 1998 the government has proposed an omnibus council where all professions will be put together in omnibus, where once again we stress no, physiotherapy should not be clubbed with the omnibus council. So, we will continue to stress on independent physiotherapy council bill or act. Please note, in 1997, 1998 the combined council, the omnibus council was not accepted by IAP that time. Later physiotherapy was forcibly included in the Rehabilitation Council of India under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, which there are so many apprehensions was thrown, and we were by fighting it, battling it in the court, and less are pursuing with the Ministry of Social Justice Empowerment, Ministry of Health. Physiotherapists were removed by notification that physiotherapist is not under Rehabilitation Council of India. In 2000, Paramedical Council was proposed, and the enactment of physiotherapists, including all the things, and physiotherapists were sounded to be categorized as technicians. In 2002, in fact, after continuous pursuing by the professional bodies and the individuals, I think there was a proposal of Paramedical and Physiotherapy Council Act was proposed. So, paramedical was separate because we were telling that we will not be under paramedical. So, we were given kind of a proposed bill in 2004 as Paramedical and Physiotherapy Council base. Please note, every time we try to demand whatever possible, whatever beneficial to us, but somehow or other it gets stuck somewhere. I do not want to comment again on why things get stuck. In the Paramedical and Physiotherapy Council bill, physiotherapist was given a status, means physiotherapy means medically directed. I think that was a big havoc created in national level, and IAP was dead against it, and all the professionals who were practitioners were dead against this entire definition. And you will not believe it, there were statements which was released by the medical experts, medical doctors and the Medical Council of India members themselves gave a press note that physiotherapists have grown to a stage that this medically directed restricts the working, functioning and status. So, that should not be considered. So, after so many continuous pursual, we said the title is not acceptable, composition of council is not acceptable, financial implications, so many things. So, finally, after a long battle, the parliament session in 2005 ended without getting the bill tabled, paramedical and physiotherapy councils bills. So, what happened is, after that in 2005, this happened in February 2005, and in June 2005 again ministry called the representatives, especially physiotherapists were called, and we were given opportunity to present ourselves, and we said that we will be, and one medical, one administrative expert was assigned to look into our matter. And in 2005, the paramedical and physiotherapy bill was returned to law ministry without being for requesting for substantial changes. So, there was a peace march which was organized by the Indian Association of Physiotherapists in the year 2005 in Delhi, and a lot of pressure was given from us, and the government of India has constituted a committee with the representatives of IAP and Physiotherapy and Occupational Therapy Associations, and said that we will think of exploring the joint OTPT council again. So, all the discussions were made, and the associations, in fact, frankly speaking, I was one of the member in that committee, and we strongly emphasize that physiotherapy's independent professional status and the healthcare professional status should be retained, and paramedical should not be, and it should not be medical, they should be given an opportunity of first contact practice. All those points whatever been stressed that time also been stressed. So, the bill the points whatever we mentioned was independent status, physiotherapy should not be clubbed with any other profession including OT, and physiotherapists will be allowed to do independent practice or first contact practice. This was the thing happened in 2005, and after that what happened in 2007, the draft bill of paramedical and physiotherapy council bill was proposed and tabled in the parliament, and after a long pursuit, because if the same bill comes out, I think we will have a lot of negative factors, and too much of work, downfalls can happen. So, we pushed from all our regular sources, and lucky I happen to be the general secretary, and thanks to all the seniors and people who supported us in getting this work done. So, the bill was referred to Parliamentary Standing Committee for Health, I think in 2008. I think the Parliamentary Standing Committee has come out with a recommendation on 21st October 2008, with first time a strong note that physiotherapy should be given an independent status. They have grown to a stage that they can pick up patients from the society without even referral. So, there are so many things. There was I think around 36 or 56 pages of report. So, I think that report was very strong to us. But we were very sure that in 2008 parliamentary recommendation will be considered, but unfortunately that has also gone on pending, and government has proposed 2009 a common bill called National Council for Human Resources for Health. So that was a common council that includes every profession, all the professions for that matter, what we are told to us. So that was proposed by many other leading associations, leading councils in India, and that was kept on pending, and the matter was gone to the law ministry also. Law ministry said that we will not be able to constitute too many councils, because everyone each can keep asking us for independent council. So it will not be possible. We have some 30, 40, 50 professionals not regulated, so we will not be able to provide. So they said that you please try to bring single bill, what is called bringing every profession into a single roof. And in 2011 the central government has proposed a bill called National Commission for Human Resources for Health. That is once again was put on the proposal, and that was not passed through. Though there are so many issues, and that was referred to the parliamentary committee, and the 60th report submitted to Government of India, and the report was objected by IAP very strongly, because physiotherapists again was placed in the paramedical category. After so much of efforts, I think in 2015 when new committee took over after the elections, I think under the things and IAP executives, a team met the things. Dr. Annamalai was there, I was there, and Dr. Murali Shankar, Shetty, so many people were there, and we met the health secretary BP Sharma on behalf of IAP. It was not a personal effort. We met the health secretary on the official capacity by taking an official appointment through the ministry. So I think there are few points which were very strongly put to us in that time. Is first one is, you will have to the whatever told to the representatives were, see, there is no possibility of getting an independent council bill is not possible in near future, because Ministry of Health is very clearly, Ministry of Laws clearly said that there will be one more bill which can be allowed, and that should take care of all the profession which is unregulated. This was a main point which they said. The second point what they said is, in the absence of not willing to accept it, please we will close the dialogue now, you continue to fight and we will pursue with the bill. If you still want, we will remove you from this healthcare allied and healthcare professionals bill. So now I think many of you all know that from 1966 till now, because we are not regulated, so many negative things happen, and we have to fight in tooth to nail to protect our profession in academics, clinical practice, and so many areas. So I think it has become a mandate to have a regulatory body national wide and state wide also, to at least minimize the malpractices, quackery practices, and educational standards, and creation of posts, so many areas. So we thought that the regulatory body is mandatory at any point of time. We cannot hold it for a very long time. So we said, sir, we are not worried about the title, because there are so many titles in the earlier bills also in the Government of India in 1960, 70. The title was different, but the professional bill which was introduced with the bylaws were little different, protecting the profession. So we said that three main points. One, physiotherapy should not be under paramedical, they should be in healthcare status. First contact practice should be allowed, and physiotherapist council should regulate by physiotherapist majority. These are the three major things for physiotherapist, by physiotherapist to physiotherapist. And the Government of India, I think Health Secretary has forwarded all our points concerned, and I think it was considered in 2018. There was a direction from the Court of Delhi also, that physiotherapy should not be clubbed with HEPASAD profession, they should be given a professional status, whatever way Government of India should consider. So with all this in 2019, the corrected bill of allied and healthcare, and with the two schedules, because they were completely listed in single, but they were separated into two schedules. One schedule was healthcare professionals, second schedule was allied professionals. So that schedule, they said that this will provide an opportunity for many councils and professional bodies to be enacted through this bill. So this was the things, considering all our previous experience with the Ministry of Health and the problems whatever we faced because of being unregulated. There was a situation that we continue to stress on these following points, whatever is said: professional healthcare, and it should be listed as healthcare professionals. First contact practice should be permitted, and the physiotherapist should have a council or maybe a committee which will regulate all the professional issues and council, and it should be by physiotherapists for physiotherapists to physiotherapists. All were accepted. I think it was sent to the parliamentary committee, standing committee, and the standing committee also strongly accepted after all our pursual. Yes, you are right, and we will try to consider all your points. And I was also there during the presentation time at the parliamentary committee for health. Of course, there are only limited people invited to present their points, but however, we stress the points whatever required from us. In 2020, the bill was passed in the parliamentary standing committee, and 2021 healthcare allied and healthcare professionals council act was passed by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and gazette notification was published in 28th March 2021, and now it is empowered on 25th May 2021. Now the need of our regulatory body we all know, and our efforts since 1966 to have a professional status and independent act was continued, but still we were not been given kind of independent act, and when if it is pursued and thing, and it used to get diverted to some other way. So we thought that at least we get the status of health care, and we get the status of first contact practice, and we get the status of the professional status. I think it should satisfy. This was the view of all the regulatory, all the professional bodies, individuals and seniors who pursued this. I am not trying to brand that this was an efforts of any individual body or any individual organization or anything. It was a combined efforts of every senior professionals and influential persons who were there all over India. So everyone took an effort to bring in the independent status. Now the current act provides physiotherapists as healthcare, they are independent practitioners, first contact practitioners, and they will be given a kind of a multiple council. It is a commission, national commission for, it is not a council, so it is going to be a commission, it is going to be an overarching committee, and there will be various professional bodies with advisory bodies which will be governed by the respective professionals, and you will be given first contact practice to do it. So I think majority of the point which was covered was covered, and possibly in future when we make the bylaws, the people who are going to take up the job of making the bylaws will be able to help us to get the profession much more respectful and purposeful. Now at this point of time, there are people we keep telling that sir, you should have continued to fight for Independent Council Act and Independent Council Bill, physiotherapy should be given Independent Council. I think people who spoke and where I also happened to speak to them, I also happened to be part of the negotiations, I also happened to be part of the committees and discussing with all those who took the efforts. Considering the scenario that Independent Council Bill is not going to happen, maybe even another 5 years or 10 years also, it may not happen. If you still want to continue to fight, you continue to fight, or you please let us know what you want. We will be able to provide you whatever to safeguard your profession. When these two things were put in front of us, what should have been chosen? I will keep the question open, that people who still continue to feel that if it is not, even getting the Independent Council Act is not possible in the near future, we should have continued to fight the National Council Act, Independent Act only. That is one line of argument. Another line of argument, as long as the points whatever we stressed continue accepted, I think going ahead with this also is not wrong. So if these plates on the either side, I would leave this final decision. Now it is not in our hand, the government has already made the regulation and you have to go, and we are been given whatever we were requesting. So whether how should have been handled, forget about whether how to go about now, that is secondary matter. How you should have been handled, what should have been done, I think I leave it to the entire seniors and professionals who are well-wishers and who are in the academicians and clinicians to decide or maybe take their call what should have been done. You have all the rights to put to the organizations, or you can put to the things, but make it very simple, because as it goes, it is a matter of 2.5 lakhs member professionals. I think when things start being debated, I am not interested in going in for debate because it is out of debate now. how it should have been handled. If it is a fruitful concrete thing, possibly I think I will be able to put down on record that this is a view. So, with this small introductions and briefing of history, I would like to give a disclaimer that this information whatever is put is out of my personal assessment and personal records. I do not want to claim any authentic power or statutory power or a legal power to any of this statement whatever given, because it is out of my personal record and personal experience and personal informations. So, this disclaimer, I would thank all of you for listening to this video. Let us continue to take our profession forward. I think that should be our target, and how to take it forward, there are much more views which I will be giving in future videos. Please subscribe this video if you like it, and I would request you to share this link to all your friends, students, physios, academicians and various people for their information. At least let them be aware that why things were handled in different way, which sometimes acceptable to some, sometimes not acceptable to some. From my point of view, whatever measures taken by, because I partly many times fully involved in the IAP and fully involved from 1986 in the Council Act Bill, I am much convinced and satisfied with the current act. I think that will definitely protect and safeguard a profession. This is my personal view, by view of Dr. B.S. Desikamani, and I reserve my opinion within myself, and it's a freedom of opinion is individual's choice. Thank you very much, and we will catch you up in the future videos. Please subscribe, share and put like and comments for this video. Thank you. Bye bye.